Hello, 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 and welcome back to Wheel Life Problems. We're back.
The return.
We're
Indeed.
back.
The
Where's your
return.
enthusiasm?
The return. We have
What
returned.
Well, welcome.
enthusiasm? Never had any.
You never had to. That's a crock of shit. I've seen you enthusiastic.
he, do,
Nah.
he does.
Look at you right now. Look at you. You got that little
Never.
smile going on right now.
Nah.
Well, welcome back to Wheel Life Problems, the podcast for the disabled by disabled. We're just a couple of crips hanging around, and we've been gone for quite some time now. And I'm Ricky, and with me, as always, is Billiam
What's going on?
and John. Well, I guess Wheels
Hello.
and I should be calling you guys Wheels and Glitched at this point, shouldn't I? I mean, it's on the banner as I look at it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, maybe.
Bill, aka Wheels.
How come you go by Wheels?
It
Did
just
you
well,
like?
the wheelchair gamer, and then people just abbreviated that to Wheels, and then
What are you gonna do when you meet the Wheels guy who did the backflip?
cool name, bro.
I just kind of push him to the side, like, I don't know if you knew this, but I'm kind of known as Wheels. I'm kind of a big deal, so I'm gonna need you to stop doing those backflips. And
It's like, or no, he might look at me and he might say, "There can only be one," and then I'm like, "Oh God, he's going to kill me now." This
you're
just
gonna have a
became
We'll have a
rage
Highlander.
battle.
Highlander
This just
situation.
became Highlander. Oh shit! Where's Christopher Lambert when you need him?
He'll start wheelchair jousting.
That had a that. Speaking of Highlander, that had like this terrible failed show. Which I mean, is anybody really surprised that they did a show for that and it failed? I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know, but the point is, we're
Yeah.
back and we're here, starting off the New Year's right. So, what happened while we were gone? While we were gone, we realized that we wanted to make this show much better than what it was, and so, as you can see by our crisp new banner, if any, as I'm talking to my giant wide audience,
Mm,
that we're trying to take this thing a little more seriously. We're trying to up the quality for not just for us, but for you, the listener,
indeed.
the
Indeed.
subscriber, the Twitcher, and
The
so he,
YouTuber.
the YouTuber.
True.
So, and here we are. We're here starting off a new year. What better way to talk about New Year than with New Year's resolutions? How have you guys been since we've been off?
Um.
Pretty relaxed.
Yeah. I mean, things have been all right. I don't know. I'm happy that it's I'm happy that we were able to kind of get some things in a better spot with the podcast. I feel like it's going in a better direction now. We actually have a direction, guys, and we actually have planned out
It's that
topics.
Yeah, instead of forgive the pun here, but spinning our wheels.
way. I gotta say, as I'm looking at the logo, I like it. I think it looks good. The blue smoke going around. Like, so shout out to our friend Justin for making that.
Yeah, and
Heck
And
yeah.
if you guys are
let's see.
interested in any graphics, I'm going to make sure I actually. Well, I'm going to see what he allows me to link. I'm pretty sure I could put his email down there, and I don't think he would mind if you clicked on it and asked him, "Hey, I want a logo."
But what's
Maybe
funny
threw
is
a
when
couple of bucks his way.
Yeah.
if I'm looking at the monitor, it looks like I'm looking at Bill right now, and if I look this way, it looks like I'm looking at John. I mean, glitched. We're looking at glitched.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe.
That's cool. So, how did you guys spend your New Year's?
Well,
Sat at
in
home.
this beautiful place.
Yeah, in this chair right here.
Yeah,
Had a nice mixed drink and messed around with friends on Discord.
I
Had a good day.
I did a stream.
Good night.
I streamed a little bit. I just did a bunch of different. Well, I think I ended up doing a bunch of Fortnite because I was just like, wanted to play as
Really?
Mandalorian because I don't know why wouldn't you want to play as Mando?
I was going to, but then that first mixed drink hit me, and whew,
What'd you do? What'd you
nope.
do for your mixed drink?
Root beer flavored 3 Olives vodka mixed with A&W root beer.
So you just doubled down on the root beer there, huh?
That,
Yes, I did.
but the thing, but that's a good sort of.
Thing is though, that
Yeah.
bottle's been sitting around for like at least the last little bit of that bottle I have has been here for like 2-3 years already because I don't drink much.
Yeah,
So
I
it
don't
was
drink
extra
either.
potent.
Well, when he
I didn't.
when he drinks, he does
I didn't
drink.
drink. I didn't get to drink on New Year's either because I was suffering a UTI. So what I
Ooh,
did is I
that
got
sucks.
really high and watched 3 different rom-coms in a row.
Which
Waited for the countdown to come
which
in,
ones?
and then um, one of them was Plus One, which I would
Uh-huh.
highly recommend. That one's good. It's on Hulu if anyone wants
Plus
to do it.
one.
It's got the guy from The Boys in it. You know, Huey.
The boys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And the other one is I used to go here. That one's not really a rom-com. It's more of an indie. And then what was the other one? It was Downhill, I think. Those are the 3 I watched in a row. Which Downhill isn't much of a rom-com either, but it's kind of I don't know. It's with Will Ferrell and Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, what
I saw Wonder Woman. That was
yeah.
that was a turd.
Really?
Kind.
I thought it was fun.
Well, okay. Let me put it this way. Like, some of the stuff was really wishy-washy though to me. Like, it was just kind of like, that's how that happened. Really? That.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I still think it's a turd too, but I thought it was a fun turd.
Yeah, okay. I'll give it that it's I'd say that it's a popcorn flick because I mean, you're talking to someone that enjoys like some of the worst like 80s slasher films. Like who wants to watch Jason? I mean, a lot of people do actually. A lot of people do actually, but I'm just saying like
You kinda put your foot in your mouth right
but
there.
at the
I'm
same
Who
time
wants
partial
to
to
watch
Chucky.
cult classic?
well, I'm trying to think of something like that is more of a debate of like a movie like I don't know. I'm not really into the I don't know. I'm trying to think of a movie like that most people can't like stand, or like movies that have ridiculous titles like, um, Slumber Party Massacre, or like um,
That sounds like a softcore porn.
it might have been that might have actually been maybe I'm mixing up things here, um, but I don't know. I like some of that cheesy stuff though too. Like I don't know. I just like a lot of that stuff. I've been watching a lot of that stuff.
Some of the movies that are so bad they're good.
Yeah, I mean, I was just I don't know. I've been watching a lot of documentaries too. I was watching this one Search for Darkness. It was about 80s movies. It's about 80s slasher films and horror films, and it was like a 4-hour movie. and
That's not a
Nice.
bad one.
it was fun. It was a good one.
Yeah. Well, so sounds like we all spent I guess let's get back on track. We all spent a pretty boring I'm not gonna say boring New Year's. It was the best it could have been, you know?
Based on the
Like
circumstances.
yeah, based on the circumstances. It was a change of pace from previous New Year's. Like last New Year's I was in DC in a hotel that I spent a bunch of money to go to and dressed up all nice and got way too drunk and had to take the metro home by myself, really drunk, and somehow made it home. I don't remember. I
For me,
barely remember making it to the metro, and I don't know
ironically
if you.
enough, for me, it wasn't any different. I still sat at home in my favorite comfy chair in front of my computer watching YouTube and had a mixed drink.
Hey, man, if it works, it works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I, Not saying that's that's the kind of New Year's I always love having is like getting shit faced in
no.
a fancy place. Because like that was like one of the things that you have to kind of just throw on your bucket list to go to a big New Year's party. And I just remember we were on the top floor bar, and then like the ball drops and everyone just like Wah! And then everyone started making out and stuff. It was
Ooh,
weird.
ooh. Then there was an
I don't
orgy,
know
and
if you
no,
guys
I'm
knew
just
this,
kidding.
but there's this thing where people kiss each other on New Year's. It was icky.
They were gross.
All right, so
Anyways,
let's go on. So we're talking New Year's resolutions. What do you guys think about New Year's resolutions?
um, not
I'll let everybody else go
not a
first.
whole lot, to be honest with you, because I think resolutions. I understand the sentiment. I get it, but at the same time, I feel like, um, if there's something that you should be doing and there's like a goal that you want to hit, make it make it an actual, well, I'm not saying that resolutions aren't doable, but make it, why do you have to make that goal on New Year's? Why can't you just decide like, hey, I don't like the way I'm doing this thing right now. Let's change it right now. Although I do know that there is New Year's resolutions and people kind of get this whole idea of like, oh, I can start on this day, and then it's just like, then it's like, how many times have you heard the story of someone trying to lose weight and it's like they they bottom out after a month of going to the gym and then they just don't do it. I just don't like tying it to the fact that it's, oh, it's a new year, I need to do this now. It's like I don't know. Like when the new year comes though, it starts to make me think about, hey, maybe there's like a goal that I could do, but it's something I want to like. I usually always end up wanting to start it before New Year's because I don't know. I just feel like in some ways it almost makes me feel like you could set yourself up for failure in some way. I don't know why. I just always get that sort of feeling with them. So I don't know. I don't really like that.
Well, let me hit you with this question then. Have you made resolutions in the middle of the year, or have you ever started them on New Year's?
I think when I was younger, I tried to do like resolutions, and it was usually stuff like, "Oh, let's try not to cuss." So fuck that. I'm not doing that. Um, or like other stuff. I don't know. It was. I don't think I ever really took it seriously though. I think maybe that's why I have that feeling about it is that I just don't take them very serious. And I just feel like I need to frame it as a goal rather than a resolution, because it's not tied to any specific day. You know what I mean? It's more just this is what I want to work towards. You know,
Yeah,
and I don't like
I
tying it
get
to a
that.
day.
I I get- I understand that, and that's kind of like what I wrote down on my thing too. Is like I don't know. I think New Year's resolutions are a great idea. I mean, they're just at first of all, they're a great way to get yourself into a positive mindset. I mean, like kind of like you said, it kind of sucks that people have to rely on a new year for people to want to accomplish their goals. But overall, I mean, I think it's better than nothing. It's just the hard part is sticking to those resolutions. Anyone can say something, but it takes a lot of effort to actually go through with those.
Right.
And I think a great way to set yourself up to sex those, it's a great way to set yourself up for success. But then the only
Yeah,
way to fail at resolutions is by not setting anything up in the first place.
that's true.
If you and I mean, up until recently, I never really made New Year's resolutions because I had that same mentality of like, oh, I can just do it at here, there, whenever. But and the sad thing is, I never did start. I just like, oh, I can do it whenever. But I don't know. The one thing I appreciate about it is it's a reminder a reminder to do better, and not even just do better, but to try and grow yourself
Yeah.
as an individual. And I mean, that's the whole point of a resolution is because you want to be better than you were before. But and I think the mistake a lot of people make is they don't hold themselves accountable when they make resolutions. They'll make these kind of exactly what you said. They'll go to the gym and they'll fade out over time. And I think the reason they do is because they don't give themselves any consequences. I mean, if you hold yourself accountable for resolutions, you're more likely to attain those as opposed to just you know saying it out in the air, throwing out into the air, not
Hmm.
really grabbing it. And a good way to hold yourself accountable is to actually write down resolutions, tell people about your resolutions, and that way, if you don't accomplish it, I mean, it just gives you self accountability. But
Well, it becomes
I don't know.
real.
Like I said, I think they're a great idea, but I think a lot of people have failed to recognize too is like I I think it's important that people remember that it's okay to fail at your resolutions too. That's what's good about making them. If you don't attain it, don't let yourself get down. The important thing is to try. As long as there's an effort, then you shouldn't really feel too bad about setting a resolution and not actually attaining it. It's just that attempt to try, and that's why I think they're a pretty decent idea. Just like I said, a good way to get yourself in a positive mindset.
Right.
For me, I'll put it this way and then say one other thing about it, and that'll pretty much sum it all up. I am personally keeping the same resolution I made somewhere around 10 years ago, and that was never to make another one.
There you go.
Now, why
The
is
other
that?
thing, because it's the only one I know I can keep.
Really?
Yeah.
So by that, does that mean you don't believe in yourself enough that if you set a different resolution, you
Oh
don't think
no.
you can keep it?
No, that's not the point of it. The point of it is this actually gets to the other portion, and it's the joke I found on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to open a bar I'm going to open a gym for the first 2 months of the year. The rest of the year, it'll be a bar.
Right. That's only I I don't know if I follow
It's a
that.
mindset thing. It's a full mindset thing. Many people, including myself, I know this is a weakness of mine, will start down a path as a quote resolution, get on it, keep on it for a while, and then slip back into old habits and fade off. If I set it as a goal that I want to accomplish and work towards it in the form of a goal, not tying it to the new year,
Mhm.
I get a whole lot farther in actually accomplishing that goal and continuing to push for it, regardless of when or where it was set.
Yeah.
So, do you have
It's the
any
mindset thing.
right? Which is kind of like what I got uh put in said in my kind of thing is just like
Yeah.
it's a good way to get yourself in that positive mindset. It's just that whole actually like you said pushing through to make sure you don't turn that gym into a bar. But so I mean with that if you're not setting resolutions, do you set goals throughout the year though?
I do.
Do you have any examples?
Mm.
Like what goals
Um
did you accomplish last year?
well, last year I accomplished the goal of reaching over 500 subscribers or not subscribers, followers on my Twitch channel. And I pushed really close to my second goal of 1,000, but I didn't quite hit it. So that's still my goal for this year.
Yeah. I would say mine's to hit 3,000 this year. Maybe.
3,000. What are you at now? You're at 2.2.
Yeah.
So for
Overall, my overall goal is actually 1,500, but I will be happy for 1,000.
I think you'll
yeah.
hit 1,000 for sure. Maybe even 1,500. I wouldn't
So
be surprised.
in what ways do you guys hold yourself accountable to make those goals happen?
Well, for me, because my particular goal is a follower goal, and it's something that I can't exactly control. I can't reach through the void and make somebody press that follow button or mind control them into it. I just do the best I can, and I don't get too stressed if I don't get those numbers.
Yeah, but you need to connect with your what I always call it your tribe, meaning like I think being true to yourself on a stream, and I think people
Exactly.
seeing that, I think that equates to follows eventually because I mean, if they see something and they're like, "Oh, I relate to this guy," like a lot of the people that I end up playing with that are streamers also, they end up being like, they the reason why we get along so well is that we are very similar in the way that we do our
Mm-hmm.
stream, and then therefore that ended up being a follow and a friendship. So there you go. Or a
Exactly.
lot of times it just comes
And
from
I
friendships.
will say, that this past year I have sort of toned down and brightened out the best parts of my personality, and I haven't been happy enough with the person that I was on camera.
Right.
So, for lack of a better word and lack of a better phrase, my give a damn is going to get slightly busted this year, and I'm going to let myself out a little bit more. The true me that just doesn't care as much.
Yeah,
As
that's
odd as
good.
that sounds, I've been, because of all of the, I actually took a break over Christmas,
Right.
a 2 week break from streams to really figure myself out and figure out what it was about my content and my
Ah.
delivery that I wasn't happy with.
Yeah.
And
And it turns out that it's just that fact. I've been holding myself back. I haven't been letting my true attitude, my true feelings through for fear of cancel culture. And then I just eventually came to realize the only way they're going to cancel me is if I let them.
That's true.
Use them for fuel.
Yeah.
Go ahead, keep talking about me. It just brings me more attention. Come on, let's do this.
Yeah, but I think.
And that's now my kind of like I'm kind of rolling back to my same question is like, how do you hold yourself accountable to make sure you keep that mentality, that path of like, I'm not going to care as much in a way that's going to benefit me.
That is always the question.
Well, I think maybe more so with something like that, it comes down to putting yourself in like forcing yourself to put yourself in uncomfortable positions. So like let's say like I don't know, maybe when I don't know, maybe like I don't know, do you ever remember in grade school when, there was a girl that you liked and you would get red in front of her because not that she knew that you liked her or anything, but you would never actually go through with it and ask her. Well, instead of not doing that, that would be you doing this and getting uncomfortable and doing that on stream in a way, just with your personality and not being afraid to show who you are,
Yeah.
I guess.
Bringing out some of those tougher topics that I wouldn't have normally talked about last year.
Right. Like being like, oh, I'm going to make myself a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and speak about this topic, even though I'm not sure that I should. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think when it comes to streaming or content creation, just in general, or anything you do, really, but especially content creation, I think when you get comfortable, I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think you should ever be comfortable necessarily, because I feel like that makes you lackadaisical and lazy, and I just don't think it's good.
That's kind of where I was at. I was comfortable in my ability to stem the tides of the cancel culture and not say or do anything that could get me in trouble with the cancel culture. And now I'm just getting to a point where, you know what? I don't care. Say what you want, do what you want. Just gonna bring me more attention, fuel my fire, and let me grow.
Right.
Come on, bring it.
I was going to say one way that we could tie this back in though to like goals and stuff is that kind of like how I had something I had this idea that I was thinking of and I was trying to process it together, but it's fallen apart for some reason. I don't know where I was going with that, but I was thinking like how challenging yourself. I think it's good to challenge yourself, and I think goals do that, and I think that's why they're good. I think it's good to find goals that actually challenge you to push yourself to do something maybe that's difficult for you. I mean, wouldn't you agree with that, Ricky? Don't you think challenge is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Stepping outside your comfort zone and feeling, you have to learn to feel comfortable with feeling uncomfortable.
Well,
And
yeah.
like I said, I think that's why resolutions are a good thing.
Right, but
It's that step forward to wanting to feel put yourself in an uncomfortable position so you can feel more comfortable than you were before. It's hard to really sentence all that.
Yeah, well, but how do you make yourself accountable? Like when you set some sort of goal, like what is it that you do, Ricky, that allows you to keep on track, you think?
I tell everyone what I'm doing.
Make it real.
So that way if I don't reach it, I feel like shit about it, you know?
Well, that's a
Um
motivator.
no, yeah, like 100% it is. Like I'll say like I have like that's I had this problem where I would say that constantly and never accomplish things, and then I'd feel like total shit. So now also at the same
Yeah.
time, I'm thinking through more of my decision making and my goals, and I'm making it more apparent what I tell people I want to do, so that way when I accomplish it, I put this pressure on myself, and I don't put too much pressure that I know I can't handle because I know I can handle a lot, and I make sure I put more on myself than I know I can handle as a way to push myself. But yeah, and also I started only recently. I think a year or the year before. I started writing down everything. I started writing out like long-term goals and short-term goals, Like long-term goal, for me is like right as of right now, I want a really good job or I could like, for you guys, I want this channel to grow, the We Life Problems to grow. And that's
Yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
long-term goal. And then the short-term goals I'll put down like, all right, what's the smallest possible step I could take towards there? And
Mm-hmm.
I think the smallest possible step I took last year was just bringing forward of like, hey, I want to make this thing. I talked to you
Yeah.
guys about it. I
Yeah.
talked to you guys exactly like what, and then I started writing things down and put it all on paper so that way I'm not just talking out of my ass. I showed that I put work into what I want to
Mhm.
accomplish, and then yeah, it's all about putting those.
See,
Look at the big goal, but put that. Make sure you focus on like the tiny things like you guys want to
yeah.
grow your channel grow like what's one small step you guys can
Yeah.
take.
So
Right.
so for me, my motivations aren't extrinsic. I don't really care what people think about me. Like if I tell everybody that I'm going to do this and I don't end up doing it, I will find every sort of excuse in the book and not give two bat wings about what somebody else thinks.
Well, don't we all care, like, to some degree, though? Like, doesn't every person, like, sort of? Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to speak for anybody. I'm just saying, like, to some
No, because
degree.
I agree because like what you just said there with that argument glitched is the you'll say you don't care but so you'll make excuses like you just said to justify it and things. So
Yeah.
in
Hmm.
that regard, it sounds like you're saying like you care enough to make an excuse for them so that to justify why you didn't do something.
Yeah,
But I mean, I think that's an
Which shows
inherently
care.
human thing, though, don't
but I
you?
don't care enough to feel like crap about it.
Right. Right.
I am defiantly motivated. Somebody tells me I can't do something, and if I decide it's something I feel like I want to do, then I will, by golly, find every single method and pathway to let me do the thing that they said I couldn't.
Well, then that's a direct reaction. That's a direct reaction
Yeah,
to someone. So maybe in that way,
that's always
yeah.
been the way I've been, and
Right. So it's the level
I'm
of
very
care.
defiance. Yeah, I'm very defiance motivated rather than
Right.
Spiteful.
Right.
yeah.
But I think that's a good thing because I have an example of that because I had an ex girlfriend. I'm friends with her now, but it's a long time ago. But anyway, she basically told me that like, oh, I don't. Yeah, like she always kind of like I think she doubted my abilities to be able to get a college degree. When I was like, okay, fuck this. I'm going to prove you wrong, and I ended up getting an associate's degree. Maybe it's not a lot to some people, but hey, I finished something I started, so I was proud of that.
Hmm.
I was proud to say, "Hey, I finished something."
Don't knock associate's degree, man. I just got mine.
It Hey, congratulations. That's awesome. What was it in? Oh
Communications.
yeah, that's right. You
So
mentioned.
that was gonna go to our next transition as after this, but
Whoop.
so John glitched. That's tough
That's
transition.
all good.
Uh,
Don't worry about it. Glitch.
what
I
what
don't, I
makes
don't care. My
AKA
name's Paul on
AKA
Twitter. So first
AKA.
name is anyway.
well people watching don't know what I say, John. But what makes you feel like shit then for not accomplishing something?
Nothing.
Nothing makes you feel like shit.
Nope.
I don't believe that for a second. There's got to be something that makes you feel it like shit.
Nope.
Well, if you ran over his foot, I'm sure
I don't.
that would invoke a feeling.
Well, like for not accomplishing anything, something
Yeah,
or a goal or something like that, nothing can make me feel bad for that.
but you can.
It
Nothing.
came from no, you can't do it. Can't happen. It came from all the times that I've been bullied and beat down. I just learned to take it as the way of the world.
Hmm.
Somebody's always going to try, and I'm just not going to let it happen, regardless of what I did or didn't do.
But okay, how do you make what makes yourself feel like shit then? Like I don't know I don't know if
Are,
I don't know if I can believe
are
that
we even
nothing will
talking
make you feel
about
like shit
goals at
about
this
not doing.
point, Ricky? Or are you talking about just
Oh yeah, no
anything?
goal. Yeah, goal oriented. Like let's say you set something aside that you want to do glitched, right? You're like, I'm gonna fucking do this, and you're motivated to do this, but you don't tell anyone, because that's not your thing. You're not about telling because you don't care what the other people think. But you set out that you're gonna do this thing, and then it doesn't happen. You can't tell me that doesn't make you feel like shit even a little bit.
I do feel disappointment,
Okay.
but it just makes me try even harder to make it happen the next time around.
Okay, so that's good. So that's good. The way that you end up feeling when you don't complete something, it ends up being a motivator anyways.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
It goes back to that fueled by spite and rage thing that I've got going on.
But that's a
The
good
more
thing.
So you
times I
spite
fail,
yourself.
yeah,
That's a good thing.
the more times I fail, the more times it pushes me to try and try and try and try again, to the point where I start feeling the physical rage and sometimes have to take it out on a pillow when things
Yeah.
don't go the way I want. And then I just turn right back around and try again.
Well,
And I
there you
keep,
go.
if it's something I really want to do, I will keep smashing my head into it, probably to an unhealthy degree, until I either get it done or get fed up with it and give up permanently. One of the two, whichever comes first.
Well, at least you tried. That's the thing. That's like what getting back to my point that I said earlier, it's like people some people are scared of making resolutions because they're scared of like not accomplishing them. They're scared of the failure and things. And I think that failure is something they shouldn't be scared of, or
Yeah.
not accomplishing a resolution shouldn't deter
Yeah.
you, because the thought that you tried and put effort, if you can say you put in a good effort into something and you fail at a resolution, you didn't accomplish it, you still accomplished something.
Yeah.
And that's why I think resolutions are important.
But my whole thing with resolutions, though, is, it's sort of, everybody has this mindset of, once you set one, you have to complete it by the end of the year or you didn't accomplish anything that year. So I eventually, just got tired of that mindset and just decided to treat everything as a goal. No more resolutions. The last one I made was 10 years ago. I'm never making another one. I
But
will
I mean that
continue to make goals and better myself, but they're
yeah.
not technically resolutions.
So what does get you excited for the new year then?
Not really much, because it's all just the same day, or the same time frame, just a different number at the end.
You are just that hard as a rock, aren't you?
Pretty much. I'm not a holiday person at all. They're just ordinary days that somebody decided deserved a special name.
Yeah. I don't know, but
Still a Monday, just like any other Monday.
think
Or in this
anger-
case, still a Friday, just like any other Friday.
anger is a good motivator, though. I think that's an example of where that emotion actually benefits someone.
Mhm.
Well, a
Yeah,
lot of times it hasn't
that's true.
benefited me, though. But I mean, I think this.
I do carry a lot more rage than I let show, but that's just because I've learned how to channel it.
Yeah, Wheels hasn't done that.
Yeah, you gotta learn how to channel that rage. Hey, set that as a new resolution there. There you go.
There you go.
I got
Trying to
one
tell
for you
kids,
there, Bill.
stop telling kids on Fortnite to go kick rocks or kill themselves. Let's be honest.
You can tell them to kick rocks.
Let's be honest. What we were really saying.
That's all right. No one cares about the kids anyways, Bill.
They're all
The
fucked.
kids are doomed.
They're all fucked.
The kids are all doomed.
No, but I feel like this year definitely fucked with me. This year definitely fucked with me, for sure. Just with the way things were, but I feel like things are good. Oh, and she's back, by the way. It does that South Park thing, guys. I don't know if anybody. Well, you guys didn't hear that, but it says "I'm back."
Oh.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's funny. But yeah.
Well, if anyone out there in the chatosphere has any opinions on this, feel free to hit us with what do you think about New Year's resolutions. But what you're saying, I think, is I mean, I think it was a shitty year for everyone, but I think that's a good transition to our next bulk of the episode. Is we are all challenged with naming 5 things that are good things that came from the year.
Yeah. So who's the first victim in this? Well, maybe
You want
I guess it'll be me. I'll start this shit show. All right, so
I will say it was, like you said, it was really like at first I was like, oh, this is easy, and some of them was like it was. I had to dig really deep to be like, what did happen good in the year 2020.
It's just
There was a lot of
it
shit,
was just a flaming
and a lot of it's a
turd.
blur because it was all the same fucking thing.
It was just such a flaming turd of bullshit. Okay, so the first thing that I had, and I'm not trying, I am not, we aren't going to get into any politics here about anything. I think it was cool that they were able to come up with a vaccine, regardless of if people think that they rushed it out or whatever. I'm not getting into it. But I think it's cool that people came together, that you had a lot of companies come together and work that out for the COVID thing. I also think that it was cool how like that. So that's my first thing. I think the second thing was being able to actually get some stable employment for myself. I felt like, and that's my own thing. That's my own experience in my year, but it was something positive. It was something that, and now I'm working, and it's a job with benefits, and it's good. It's a good thing, and it allows me to. It's a part-time thing. It's a temporary thing. So I work like
Hell yeah.
I work a certain amount of months in a year, and then I'm off another amount. It really depends on when they need me, but it's kind of cool though. And then I thought it was cool how you saw like you saw people that were suffering, their businesses and stuff were suffering because of the COVID thing, and then you saw I remember there was a campaign.
That doesn't sound very good.
Well, okay, that part's not good, but there was like Guy Fieri and some other people were giving to this there was like this bar stool thing that I've heard of, and there's a few other campaigns where they were actually they actually were giving money to these store owners and allowing them to actually pay their employees and be able to stay afloat during the pandemic. And I think that
I know what you're talking about.
and I think that's awesome because I think it shows how there were people that were doing amazing things and trying to stick together on this and help out their fellow restaurateurs and stuff, because that's a tough job. That's a tough job already, because you gotta make sure that you follow these health codes anyways. But then on top of it, you gotta have a good product, and you gotta keep a reason for people to come in the door. But you can't really do that when there's COVID. So I feel like they really had a struggle, and I just thought that it was cool how people came together, even in a rough time. I think we saw that happen.
That's a good one. Yeah, I agree with that entirely.
And then
Yeah.
like another one for me was Cyberpunk coming out, which I know a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, it came out and it was a terrible launch," but I was excited about it.
Well, about time, right? That game was like 10 years in the making or something.
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah. So there was that. And then
You got one more.
okay, 5. I couldn't really think of anything, but let's see. Let's see if we can come up with a bullshit one here. I mean, I would say I had a lot of time. I would say from being quarantined so much, I think I have a new found I guess sort of like appreciation for the friendships that I do have, because I know it's been tough for a lot of friendships because I'm not able to see these people, and I mean, yes, some of these relationships, like the ones that I already have online, I mean, that's already online anyways. That's easy to maintain. But it's some of the real life relationships that I have where it's like we don't really do things online. We do more stuff in real life. And those have kind of strained because, it sucks. I can't go over to certain people's houses, and it's just like I feel like I have a more of appreciation for my friends and for the people that care about me. Yeah, sure, like you, Paige, of course. Even though you live far away, but you've been friends with me for like what, over 20 years or so. So yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, someone's rating us. What do you know? Wow, who's rating us?
What does that mean?
I can hear the music, but I can't see the alert popping. Why can't I see the alert? Oh my god, we have a raid. Oh, that's my buddy Zen. It's Zen. The Zen effect has arrived. Hey, but at least we had some fun music. At least we had some fun music. And during that whole thing, nobody really is going to hear anything that we fucking said. We were just like, "Oh, what's a raid?"
They just missed everything, all the good stuff that we all just talked about, and then the rest of the show is shit. So you rated us for nothing.
Yeah.
You should have rated us 30 minutes ago when we had quality content, and now it's just a garbage
Yeah, I should
fire.
just have
So
I should have
there's
just
no way anyone's sticking
I
around
should have
now.
just had a clip where I could have just gone to a flaming horse turd. It would have been more accurate to what was to be expected over here. So you're playing.
You see what you've done?
You're playing Escape from Tarkov, which is yeah, that game is
It's a
that
game.
game is a challenge.
That's all I can say about it. It's a game.
And it's not your
Those that
style.
are just joining us, what we're talking about is we were talking about resolutions. We talked about our thoughts on resolutions, and now we're talking about the top 5 good things that happened in 2020.
Right.
And you just went down your list,
Yeah.
and I thought it was. I guess that anyone who's joining us now is gonna have to go back and rewatch the episode or something.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Figure out
I'll take next.
Yeah.
No, actually, don't.
Well, we could
Because
All right.
my list is actually easy, and everything on my list actually involves a video game in some way, shape, or form.
Well, okay, so really quickly, they developed the vaccine. I got back to work and people came together, and I thought it was cool how they helped out restaurateurs. And then I was saying that I had a better appreciation for my friends because of the space that I had to, because of the quarantining. So that's my overview.
All right, your turn. Glitched. Oh wait, I looked the wrong way.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. My first one is Monster Train, and the fact that I got to play it on the front page of Twitch for a couple hours one day.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This past year.
That's right, I remember that.
Yeah, see, like I said, everything on my list involves a video game in some way.
That's cool.
Second one is Fuser, and watching that community come together to start an awesome new show and actually being able to help out with the planning phases of it.
That's a cool game.
Third is Tetris Effect, and how I've found my new Zen game to play whenever I'm not doing anything else or just talking with people on Discord and need something else to occupy my time.
And I think we got one more.
Yeah, the last one, ironically, doesn't involve a game. It's the only one on my list that doesn't, and that's getting to spend the last little bit of time in my favorite city here in Texas before possibly getting to live my dream this year of getting out of the state.
There you go.
Oh shit!
That's a pretty solid list.
Hey,
it works.
Maybe that's a New Year's resolution: getting out of the state. Actually, you can't claim it now. Once it's already set in motion, I guess. But
no, you can't claim it now that it's already been sort of possibly potentially set in motion.
Yeah, well,
it's all up to me on whether or not I want to go now, and that's why I may not be present 1 week coming up here pretty soon, because I'll be going down to look at the place and seeing what needs to be done between me and my roommate. And
what state?
There's a complicated situation. I don't remember exactly right offhand.
You don't remember what state this new place is going to be in?
Maybe they could play a game with him.
Not right offhand.
They could play a game with him. Okay, since you can't see it, you got to guess what it is by the smells and by taking you to different restaurants.
What state are we in by the smell?
It's like he's got to figure out by the restaurants, by like local wildlife.
Well, no, I've already been told. I just can't remember. My brain isn't.
Yeah.
It isn't here for that.
By that logic, Glitched, what does Texas sound and smell like? Just yeah, geek gunfire.
What you're describing, I don't know.
It's very stereotypes.
It
very
sounds
stereotypes.
like another state would.
It sounds like what?
Any other state would.
Does it have a distinct smell?
Virginia smells pretty fine.
I bet it does. I wouldn't mind smelling Virginia.
God,
the only problem is I can't smell.
Oh,
I don't have a sense of smell either.
So. Don't forget, Virginia is for lovers. We smell like sex.
Ew, that'd be terrible. So you're saying Virginia just smells like cum?
No, fresh grass does.
That's the smell of sex. The smell of sex is cum.
Well, I mean, every time they cut the grass, I mean, I sort of get that smell in the air.
Ew. Well, I'm not gonna take a deep breath next time I go outside.
It depends on if they're mowing.
All right, so I guess that's my turn for my top 5 list, huh?
Yep, your turn.
Yep.
All right. Number 1, I got my learner's permit.
Woohoo!
That's a resolution I put in motion last year as actually was setting one of my goals was to drive. I didn't reach that goal, but I reached a footstep of that goal. So there's that.
You're on your way.
I'll
Hey,
be
there you go.
driving in no time, hopefully this year.
I mean, that's cool though.
Number 2, I went hang gliding, which was cool.
Oh, cool.
Which is, got to fly a mile above the sky with my chin pressed up against some dude's back the entire time.
Where did you do that?
Kitty Hawk.
Okay, I was actually wondering about that. That's immediately where I thought of, like hang gliding. Where would I do that? Probably in Kitty Hawk.
Yeah. So that was cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Number 3, I finished school. So as of December, I now have an associate's degree in communications.
That's awesome.
So that's why I said
Nice.
don't knock associate's degree. Because, yeah.
It's better in some fields than others, I'll put it that way.
Yeah. And then this is where I started having a hard time with the list, because I was like, what the fuck happened in 2020
There's
that
good
was
stuff
good?
for me, but the rest of the world, fuck you.
Yeah, no, there was good. There was good in the world too, Comedy was booming, that's for sure. But my number
You
4
kidding
is
me? In 2020, you wanted to find a good comedy routine, all you'd have to do is pull up Twitter and scroll a couple of lines.
I do
Yeah,
that today,
fucking-
right now. You'll find something
yeah,
fun.
fucking. Yeah, that's a whole nother rabbit hole for another day. Number 4, though, here's what I came up with. I explored more parks than I usually would have. So I went to Shenandoah, went to a couple local parks and that I had no idea were even around here and stuff. And that found a bunch of accessible trails and spent some more time outside and realized, oh wow, I don't have to just go to a bar or go to someone's house. I can be out in nature and do something, and breathe some fresh air.
Was that Lisa Vania? Was that one of them, or?
I've been to Lisavania. Shenandoah, I went to Shenandoah for the first time
I've been
this
to
year.
that area, but never
They-
been in a park for it.
Oh, it's good. It's beautiful, man. You overlook all the scenery. Just then, and the day we went there, it was kind of like rainy, so you could see all the clouds rolling over the mountain too,
That's
which
pretty
is
cool.
great. I forgot what the meteorology term of it is called, but when air is forced up a mountain and it saturates and creates clouds, you got to see that rolling over the mountains, and that shit was cool to me. And then number 5 is where I really struggled. And then wrote down one good thing is my friend opened up a business.
Hey, there you go.
Hey,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's one of those things. That's got to be tough, but I mean, I hope that they're doing well with it.
They're doing as best as they can be,
I mean, I would say that if it was a
Don't
restaurant,
tell it.
that would be even harder.
Yeah, I mean he's catering to the COVID market, which I think is a smart idea.
That's actually a really
it's
good
a
idea.
it's a sandwich and beer place that delivers straight to your door, and their sandwiches are delicious. His beer selection is delicious. So, if you're in Virginia and you're near Old Town Manassas,
What's the place?
go get yourself a Doug's Deli sandwich.
All right. And can I order that? Could I order that to here?
I don't know. Go on the website and see. You might be in
Hey,
delivery
maybe
range,
that could be.
or you
Hey,
might.
maybe that could be. Maybe that could be a thing. I could try. Well, the two of us would be able to try the subs on stream. John wouldn't be able to. So never mind. That's a dumb
Nope,
idea.
I'm too far away.
Well, maybe it's not a dumb idea. If it was just the two of us on the episode, then that would work because maybe I don't know.
There
Maybe
you
I
go.
could just try it out and plug it and be like, "Hey, if you're in Virginia, eat this shit. It's good."
I tell you what, let me know when we want to do this sub episode, and I'll go get my favorite sub, and we'll all bring our favorite sub and sit here and have a sub episode,
Let's do that, and then we could talk about
sandwich episode.
sandwiches because I think that's an important conversation because I mean, having the proper sandwich setup I think is important. It's a very important thing in life. you know.
You
I
heard
kind
it
of
here
do want
first.
another roast beef with bacon and Parmesan from Subway now.
I mean, I do have
Oh,
to admit,
you like?
Subway still makes a good thing, even though they make their shit with yoga
Oh,
mats,
yeah.
but not anymore.
All right, Glitch. If you like roast beef, do you like horseradish?
No.
Okay, never mind. You're not gonna like his. Doug's Deli does have a sandwich that's outside of the roast beef and horseradish, but he makes his own horseradish sauce and it's tasty.
I'm just a plain meat and bread kind of person.
Are these like pub
I'm the
style?
simplest person to make a sandwich for.
Is this like pub style food that we're talking about here, like for the sandwiches?
Just food that's good to go.
That's pretty.
Just good old sandwiches.
So is this a food truck or does it actually have a location?
He's got a storefront right in Old Town.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I bet you my brother's probably seen
Mhm.
that. I mean, I know you've seen my brother down there.
Yeah, I used to see your brother down in Old Town all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, dude. He'd be like, hey, dude. And we'd be like, high five. And we'd be like, okay.
Okay.
But yeah,
I know.
I'm just a simple meat and bread type of person. No lettuce, no tomato, no cheese except for Parmesan. Just throw
Yeah.
some meat between a couple pieces of bread, and there you go. I got my sandwich. I'm
I
happy.
know we're kind of digressing here, guys, but what about condiments? I know this is a completely different topic, but I definitely like horseradish. I definitely am a yellow mustard guy, and most of the time, like going for mayo. Like I like mayo. I don't like fucking Miracle Whip. Don't even. Yeah.
Nah.
Barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce.
Hey,
to me.
okay, barbecue sauce is actually a good one. Depending on what meat's on the sandwich, I'd throw barbecue sauce.
Have you ever had
on
Dr.
there.
Pepper barbecue sauce? Like have you ever had that sauce? It's from they have it at Sheets. It's actually pretty good.
Given the fact that I'm from Texas, you would have thought that I would have had Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce because Texas is the home of Dr. Pepper, but no, I haven't.
I didn't even know it was the home of Dr. Pepper. See, I'm learning new things here.
Yeah.
There's a whole documentary about the whole town of Dr. Pepper started it and stuff.
Yep.
I love that type.
It's crazy.
I love that type of stuff. I think it's one of the only
All
independent
right.
ones.
Okay. So we're coming to the
Yep.
end. Let's get back on track. Let's finish things up.
Yeah.
So, John, Glitch, you may not have any resolutions, but I got a question for you. What do you guys want to see from this year then?
That's opening a can of worms.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is still. I feel like someone put it best on a Twitter post. I'm trying to think of who it was. I think it's this funny guy named Micromanager that I like his stuff. I'm gonna plug him because I think he's funny. But anyways, he said this comment. It was something like 2021 is just the DLC for 2020, and I was like, yeah, I feel that. I feel that sentiment for sure.
I mean, given the way this year started, he's probably not wrong.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the question is what good do you want to come out of the year?
I don't know. I want to.
So
I don't know.
Here's I'm gonna give you two things here, and these are gonna be polar opposites. I'm gonna give you one hope and one expectation.
Well, hey, we're getting more optimism here because he said an expectation. He didn't say guaranteed doom.
One hope and an expectation. My hope is that we will finally pull our head out of our collective butts and get along instead of arguing over anything and everything.
Agreed.
My expectation is that we'll start seeing the first spark of our next civil war.
Wow, that actually is probably pretty spot on what I have been saying.
So,
you want to see civil war out of the year? All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
Bill.
No, that's not what I want to see.
What
that's
is
not
it
what I want to
good
see.
for?
Come on now.
I will put
Come on
these
now.
words in your mouth, John, and you will eat them.
No, not hungry.
It's like, hey, remember when John said that he wanted a civil war announced?
That was a weird resolution, man.
I don't want your civil war.
It's just what I see
he
happening
accomplished it.
based on current events. It's what I see happening. We're leading towards that first spark. It's not what I want to see
I
happening.
absolutely don't want to see that happen, but I mean,
I want to see us pull our heads out of our collective butts and all work together for the common good and the
Why
common
can't we
goal.
just all
but
get along?
All right, so depressing. Let's think of something more
Well, okay.
positive.
I really do though hope that people stop. People try to think about how they talk to people and actually try to open up your ears and listen because if you listen on both sides of things, you can start a dialogue. And I think if a dialogue could
Mm-hmm.
happen, that would be great. And that's my hope. I hope that people can see that and people can realize, whoa, this is getting a little nuts, a little bit. There's a little bit too much octane in this coffee. Let's tone.
Yeah, I
Let's
agree
have a
with
tea
that.
time
And
instead.
to be honest, it comes from all sides too, and
Yeah,
I hope that
yeah,
even other members of our disability communities can open their ears and stop treating every last little thing as an ableist slight
yeah.
because it's not always the case.
And then what about you, Ricky? What is your hope for this year?
Well, I was gonna reword my question to say, what do you guys want to see out of yourselves?
Well, maybe you should have just done that question
Because you
instead.
guys took it to such a depressing turn. I was just like, man, thanks for reminding me that humanity just sucks.
Gloom and
I
doom.
thought we were supposed to start off on a hopeful note for this year. It's first episode back. We're supposed to be like, yeah, we're
The
doing this.
return.
And then it's
Now
like,
you're fucked.
humanity sucks.
Oh man.
We're fucked.
No.
So I hope to see myself hit that 1K subs
Um.
or follows. I mean,
I hope to. I really hope
that's what I hope to
to
see.
do more things with the channel. I wanna grow and I wanna interact with more people and I wanna, I just want to see this channel do what it needs to do and I really want to see this podcast, kick some ass and have some really cool content and have some awesome interviews and I mean there's a lot of stuff planned already. I mean I'm excited about.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
excited.
we got stuff
I
coming.
am excited about it because we have topics that are coming up that are going to be just some little teasers. One of the topics maybe at some point have to do with OnlyFans. That's going to be a hot topic. I might not want to miss out on that one. Um, I'm just saying because that's a whole
Ooh,
can of worms of stuff. There's going to be, of course, stuff on accessibility. You'll find a lot of people, a lot of the people that I'm trying to interview. I'm trying to always find interesting people to interview. Hopefully, we have some people come back because there were some people that I really liked that we did get to interview this past year that I thought were very interesting and really, really came pressing some interesting ideas and thoughts. So that's what I'm
definitely.
excited for.
Couple people
Well, I
I'd
hope
like
my hair grows into a sexy mane.
Well,
to.
maybe we need to get you some
Maybe.
What I'm
oils
hoping
or something.
for. My hair already looks greasy as shit.
Yeah, yeah, he
Look the
doesn't need
light
any
like
more
bouncing off
oil.
of it. It looks. I used dry shampoo on it today too, because my hair is so Asian and gets so greasy.
Bullshit, you wash that with motor oil.
I look like it, doesn't it? I. You're not necessarily wrong.
I didn't know that was inherently an Asian thing to have greasy hair.
Maybe it's just a me thing, but I've heard that Asians, and other Asian people I've talked to that were very greasy
But
folk.
I've also heard this
It's what
other
keeps our skin
thing,
looking
and I know we're digressing a little bit, but I heard this other thing where someone told me that they were like all Asian people are allergic to alcohol because they're the face getting red thing.
I think that has to do with just like
Complexions.
I mean fuck white people get white people get red
I mean,
face
I get
too.
red face from anything. So,
Uh, but what I want to see out of the year is for one, I want to start producing a good amount of income. I want to get my license, and I want to start writing more. And I want to see the world come together.
just
I just joining
just
your guys'
offer everybody a
bandwagon, man.
Coca-Cola, right? Wasn't there that one song, "Join together in the world and have a Coca-Cola" or something in the 70s?
Everyone do some coke.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was something like that. Maybe you're thinking on the 80s.
Oh,
It's a different
I
time.
We
mean
shared
that's
that with the 60s or the 70s.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of that. It was like, what was that? The world of give
I know which commercial
give the
you're talking
world
about.
a Coca-Cola or whatever the fuck it was.
yeah. I know.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about now.
Which is really like here's some high fruit fruit
High fructose corn
corn
syrup.
syrup with a bunch of other unidentifiable things that they probably used in the funeral home. or something. I don't know.
Well, on that note,
Yeah.
I think we pretty much pumped the keg, tapped the keg.
Yep. Yep.
So if you want to, for all the thousands of you watching right now, don't question it. I see the number. There's like 1,005 people in here right
Oh
now.
yeah.
If you want to
Yeah.
join the conversation, we have a Discord now. So link to that will be down below.
Yeah, that'll be on the YouTube, guys. So look out for that. Monday is the time that I'm planning on putting these videos out. It may become sooner, but for right now it's Monday. I know for a fact it'll be Monday.
Mm-hmm. So if you're watching this right now and want to watch it again, you'll watch it on Monday.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yippee. So on that note, I guess we're wrapping things up and look forward to hanging out with you guys more here in the future with all these people and stuff.
Definitely.
And we'll see you next Thursday.
Next Thursday at 7. Yeah. We move
Do you
times.
see what I spelled out
New
there?
Yep.
time. Same terrible content.
Different time.
Yeah.
Ooh, I
New
just
day, new time, same terrible content.
Oh man.
All right. Well, on that note, remember, guys, we're signing off. Take it wheel.
Indeed.
Indeed. Keep it
What?
real.
Oh, aren't you supposed to say something, John?
That was a 2020 joke. It's not 2020 anymore.
Hindsight's 2020 now.
Damn.
Literally.
Yeah.
Hindsight actually is 2020. What do you know, guys? Well, anyways, keep it wheel. Thanks for watching.
That was a bad joke. All right.
Have a
take it
good
easy.
one.
Bye-bye.